Hello there, and thank you for joining in on the 365-day journey. Welcome. I am Anna Dalman, and it is day 277, and my focus for today is an active agenda and the goals to be achieved. Now, that's playing off yesterday's note where my challenge was how to start the day fresh and new with an active agenda. So today, building off of that is an active agenda and the goals to be achieved. You need to have some points. You have to list things out for yourself, particularly when you are working on things to bring deep change to your life, because that's the only way you're going to get the outer things changed. The way you respond to life, the way you respond to people, places, and things, and the events around you. So an active agenda and the goals to be achieved. For me, I have 3 points: Bible time, exercise, and work. My life is pretty simple. So Bible time, I have then broken down into 2 segments: reading and devotional. Now, for many people, those 2 things are separate. I can't tell you how to separate them, because to me they're the same thing. I have a Bible reading plan that I work through, and at the same time my heart is growing in devotion. The one thing feeds off the other. It shifts my mindset, not merely about reading and learning more about God, but it's that time is in communion with Him, in fellowship with Him, in community with Him, and it is all of it. If you are a Christian, you will know that's a supernatural experience, that it is some kind of the mystery of being a believer, and it's an affirmation of being a child of God. Exercise 3 times a day, 15 minutes at a time on the rebounder. Now, I have shared before, I love going for walks, but although I had been walking in the neighborhood, we just had too many security briefs from city police for this neighborhood that there have been warnings going out because of crime activity in the neighborhood. And a week ago, a house down the street was broken into in broad daylight. We have security cameras and electric fencing and etc., so we are safe. However, to go walking around once the warnings have gone out it's pretty immature to do that. Furthermore, the American Embassy, the American State Department, Canada, the UK, Germany, and 1 or 2 other countries have warned their citizens traveling to my neck of the woods to be cautious because of people being followed from the airports, from the international airport all the way into the city, and being mugged right as they get out of their taxis or their transport. People have got to be pretty desperate to go to those lengths of tracking others to steal from them. And because we are adjacent to the central business district, we are included in that caution. So exercise 3 times a day, that's something which is one of my goals and something that makes me feel good, gets the body flowing, and I try and do that regularly. As I said before, I use a rebounder where I do the health bounce on it and a walking motion in lieu of going for a walk. And then work. My work focus is the writing I have done, am doing, and then family care. I help my sister out. She has some health things that go on, and when they are flaring up, I do help her out. And then I have in bold written beneath my note, none of this is written in stone. Be practical and be flexible. If you write an agenda in stone, you are not going to have the patience to deal with life when it comes to you. When I focused on the Bible reading breakdown, which some people split between their reading and their devotional, they classify those 2 things as separate, and they think a Bible reading program is not very devotional, and they lose the essence of what they want their devotional life to be. And I did say, to me, I can't see the difference in that. So what should you do to know the difference and how to appropriate the blessing of His grace, whether you are reading or doing a devotion or as I do it combined. And I think it comes down to prayer. When you have a prayerful heart, and also more time reading. The more time you spend reading the word, the more time you'll be familiar with it. And as you go over it repeatedly as the ongoing practice in your life, you will become more familiar, and your heart will be anticipating what you're going to be reading next as you familiarize yourself with the text. And that is the beauty. So however you're doing it, however you're starting it out, it will become a blessing if you do it consistently. So that is what I've got written down on my active agenda for the goals to be achieved. And my personal goals are all part of that. As I said when I started this 365-day journey, my most important critical thing is always to be spiritually mature, to work on my spiritual formation, to get back in to healthy functioning. That brings in exercise, which is also an essence of worship to God. If we have health, if we have restored health, we need to use it for His glory, and that is what I'm doing. And then also the work and the time He's given me to do it is also for His glory. I have a verse, once again, if I can't support what I'm doing or my mindset, or the sharing of my mindset with you with the biblical truth, then it is not valid to me. It's a vanity. So I have Philippians 2, verses 12 and 13, and I'm reading from the NASB, the 1995. And so then, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence, but now much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work for His good pleasure. Now we are to work out our salvation. Everything I've listed in my note is working out my salvation, the life given me to honor God, to glorify Him. Bible reading, getting to know Him better. Exercise to get healthier so I can serve Him more in the different capacities He'd move my life into and through. Work. What kind of work is He bringing to my life to glorify Him? For it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work for His good pleasure. He gives me the desires to do those things as He does you. He gives me the energy to do the things I need to do as He does you. When we are working for something beyond who and what we are, it gives you a deep inner satisfaction, and that is the good pleasure, for His good pleasure, and you reap the reward of a joyful, of a submissive, of an obedient heart for His glory. It is so circular, but it comes back to one thing always, always, always. Have you submitted yourself to what He teaches to be true about life, who you are and who He is? So friends, I'll be back tomorrow. You are welcome to join in the growth, the 365 days. It is never too late. Again, if you go back to when I first started, I didn't start sharing this until day 14 or 15. You can jump in at any time and just continue it day by day. As I said back then, and I'm going to keep saying it, when you are renewing your life, restoring your life, you are going to need to repeat things over and over again to encourage yourself. And when you share it, you're encouraging others too. You're showing them that we are all a work in progress. So if you'd like to comment and share your journey, or like and subscribe, if you think there's somebody else who may benefit from hearing, learning, growing, please feel free to share. So until tomorrow, take care and God bless, and we will talk again. Bye-bye for now.